Good morning. My name's Craig Berry. I'm a LA homeowner, taxpayer, retired UA union member, grandfather. What we really need to do is to repair our outdated infrastructure. I stepped by the Bologna Creek. I've lived there 40 years, and the water just runs out to the ocean all day long, and especially during storm waters. If we can recapture some of that water, we can use it and reuse it to help everybody. We need to get local jobs here, capturing stormwater, gray water. This is not a water fix. It is a water and money theft. Please vote no on the tunnel tax.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Surface Employees International Union, Local 721, urges to oppose all versions of the proposed water tunnels known as the so-called water fix. Our 97,000 members deliver public services in counties, cities, sanitation, and water districts, and nonprofits in 6 counties in Southern California. Water quality is vital to our members, both as residents and workers. California water providers have proposed a variety of projects that, unlike the tunnels, allow us to increase water supply and reliability and create thousands of local, well-paid jobs in our communities. For those district members planning to vote yes today, what does that really mean? A yes vote means you are passing on the chance to provide 10,000 good middle-class jobs to LA residents. It means you're passing, or you're happy to give our taxpayer dollars to wealthy agribusiness. A yes vote means you're passing on the chance to secure a consistent supply of clean water to residents who need it most. This project does not have a sound financing plan or debt service plan and does not provide a real water supply for Southern California. And you violated the Brown Act. Our union brothers and sisters and 97,000 members urge you to put Southern California back to work, invest to increase water and water reliability, and create thousands of local jobs. And to do that, we must reject the tunnel project. Thank you.
And good afternoon, board members. I'm Kent Minot. I work out of the campaign office for the Sierra Club here locally. It's not too hard to figure out why a lot of the original votes for this measure were taken behind closed doors. The measure itself is very easy to understand. A whole bunch of ratepayers in Southern California will give up money to go to incredibly rich people who don't need it and get nothing out of it. It is not a water fix. And by the way, the Sierra Club, the largest environmental organization in the country with over 3 million members, opposes this measure on no uncertain terms. It's bad for the Delta ecology, it's bad for the water quality in the Delta, and it's bad for ratepayers here. The measure itself and the fact that you have to take a new vote on it today basically registers the face of corruption behind this measure. Please vote no on this supposed water fix. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm a ratepayer and also a property taxpayer and a mother. Corporate agribusiness in the Southwestern Central Valley are backing the tunnels to get more taxpayer subsidized water at our expense. The tunnels would funnel massive amounts of water to Beverly Hills billionaire Stuart Resnick's agribusiness empire, whose businesses use more water every year than the homes in Los Angeles combined. The Resnicks, owners of the wonderful company, who I urge to boycott, and their agribiz associates have gamed the state's water system to grow excessive amounts of pistachios and almonds in the desert, and now they want ratepayers and taxpayers to pay for the multi-billion-dollar tunnels to keep their scheme going. Those agribusiness companies already receive the majority of water from the Delta and would receive the majority of the water from the tunnels. I urge you to vote no. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As someone who has just completed the state's required ethics training, I know that all of you are aware that not only are we required to avoid inappropriate behavior, but we're also required to avoid the appearance of inappropriate behavior. And what this revote really is saying is not, oops, we made a mistake, but oh damn, we got caught. As a body, you have a responsibility to listen to science, to listen to fact, to listen to overwhelming opposition by the public, and not to shut the public out, and not to take votes illegally behind closed doors, which you did. What you are doing today, by voting yes, is you're actually opening yourselves up personally to criminal ethics investigations, which do have penalties of jail and fines. You know this. And by voting yes, this is what you open yourselves up to. Make no mistake about that. I would just like to close my remarks today by pointing out the mission statement that is up on the wall here. It says, the mission of the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California is to provide its service area with adequate and reliable supplies of high-quality water to meet present and future needs in an environmentally and economically responsible way. If you are planning to vote yes, you are in violation of the mission statement. Thank you.
Water, I am. I spring. Create the fall from a mountain. Emerge through vapor and rock, leaving my print on their shape. Water, I am. I sculpt my sweetness from salt, carry the substance, weaving clouds of rainbow seals into alchemy of the underground. Water, I am. Froth of mirrors, I grow a tear into a refreshing drizzle. When I am ripe, I nurture earth and bone. Water, I am. If injected toxic chemicals and pesticides are imposed on me, I swell with the force of crystal darts across your pores. Water, I am. When trapped and forced through miles of raping, illegal, immoral tunnels, the toxic waste of my broken stream corrodes the tap down the throat of our future. Water, I am. Vote no on the tunnel tax. Water, I am. This project is immoral. Water, I am. This project needs to be stopped. Water, I am. This project won't bring us water or jobs.
Good day, Board. My name is Charmaine Evelyn, and I represent Sierra Club, California, and also Sierra Club, Los Angeles and Orange County, totaling 50,000 people. And of course, somebody here already told you Sierra Club is about 2 million people. And you know, I actually had comments prepared, but I just want to debunk what the lady who just left here said. Number one, all the cities sitting here today have said they want water independence. They want to import less water. And exactly how does she think that we're going to do that? We have to develop what we have. Water recycling, cleaning up our contaminated water, stormwater capture, and they all cost less than water fix, lady. Let me tell you that. So wherever you get your facts, get them right. See the auditor's report. Now let me go back to my comments. Sorry for the attitude. But you know, when I hear people saying something that's incorrect, I've got to say something. So, Mr. Chair and Metropolitan Board members, the violation of the Brown Act by some of the board members of Metropolitan and the backroom deal to put two tunnels back on the table, and comments that if you take a selfie with Governor Brown, you get a yes vote, That is below the belt, people. Remember, most of you here were elected to serve the people. And I say to you, look to November 2018 and look to November 2020, because we're going to make sure you get voted out if you vote yesterday. The Calvert Rider, another backroom deal. Brett Barb from Modoc, Orange County. Tell me, how dare you when you have 21 cities in Orange County with contaminated water? How dare you betray your people? This is the same Brett Barb. During the worst of the California drought, you said, if you have money, let people have money, use all the water they want, and they must pry the hose out of your cold, dead hands. You do not deserve to be sitting on this board. You are not a good steward of water, and you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed. You do not represent the people. Affordability, San Diego did something on affordability, and they said it will cost $12 and upwards. You know how many lattes that is, MWD? 3 to 4 lattes. I'm sorry, but many people cannot even afford one latte. So you guys are being ridiculous. Earthquake faults. There is a problem if we have an earthquake. And what about climate change? State Water Department just said we have to increase our delta flows, have fresh water in the delta to 40%. And we have to maintain that for us to even try to bring the delta back to a healthy standard. So exactly where are you getting this extra water, people? Please vote no. This is a ridiculous monstrosity. Thank you.
And my name is Yvonne Martinez Watson. I am the chair of the Environmental Justice Committee for the Sierra Club's Angeles chapter. I wanted to first start off by saying this is an environmental justice issue. And first of all, I'm a volunteer. I don't get paid to be here. I'm not one of these people that's coming up here in a suit and tie. I'm just wearing a t-shirt that was given to me by the Sierra Club. I find it very insulting when somebody comes up here and says, oh, don't listen to the people behind you because of blah, 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 blah. As a chair of the Environmental Justice Committee, we follow what's called the Jimenez Principles for Democratic Organizing. And one of those principles is that you listen to the environmental justice communities that you work in, and you let them speak with their own voice. You have heard today the voices of people being directly impacted by this decision today. Those are the voices you're supposed to be listening to. You cannot serve environmental justice communities, disadvantaged communities, people who are struggling to pay their water bills right now. You cannot serve these people and say that, well, it's only $5 a month or however much more. I have actually heard it described as a latte. You're talking about people who don't drink lattes. So when people get up here and they talk to you about what's happening in their own communities, those are the voices you should be listening to. And not only that, these are your customers. And you need to realize, you make the wrong decision now, you're going to price your own customers out of the product that you're serving. How is that going to pay for this project if all of a sudden you find you can't sell the water because nobody wants to buy it? Nobody can afford it. You've heard over and over again from people like me and others what this is going to do. The environmental impact it's going to have, the impact it's going to have on people right here in Southern California, and that's what you need to be listening to. That's what you need to be listening to. These twin tunnels will do nothing if we have a major earthquake, and let's say by some miracle of God, the tunnels survive. What about the crappy infrastructure here in Southern California? Now you've got two beautiful tunnels that don't connect to anything. That's what we're asking you to do. We're asking you to take care of what needs to be fixed right here. Why should the disadvantaged communities right here in the LA and Southern California area, why should we be paying for this? When those wealthier water districts in Northern Central California, the reason we're doing this vote today is because they said no. We're not paying for it. That's why we're here. Please vote no.
Jeanette Vosburg, followed by Leslie Purcell. Hi, I'm Jeanette Vosburg, and I'm with Sierra Club. And I've devoted probably the last 20 years of my life to water. I favor spending this $17 billion on capturing rainwater locally for use on site. A 1917 decision to build storm drains throughout our city began a process that's ended at this point, 100 years later, with 85% of all of our water going to the ocean. Historically, before 1917, only 15% of our water went to the ocean. The rest fed our aquifers, our wetlands, our wildlife, our habitat, and our tree shed, which helps to lower the heat island effect. I'm opposed to the twin tunnels. The supportive speakers have all had one thing in common. They live off ratepayers. They put profit in their own pockets. We are faced with the sixth extinction. We're losing our wildlife and our habitat at a very fast rate. And I want to encourage you to really think about what $17 billion would look like in terms of parks like Pan Pacific Park that absorb water and many other ideas. I think that this is something that obviously people who care about this city and the state are violently opposed to in some cases, unless they're feeding their own pockets. Thank you.
Leslie Purcell, followed by Emily Abdagani.
Good afternoon. I'm Leslie Purcell. I've been a member of the Sierra Club for many years here at the Angeles chapter, and I've been living up in Ventura for the last several numbers of years, and part of the Los Padres chapter up there as well. So I would just like to say, I believe you heard from some folks from Ventura County before who were in favor of the Twin Tunnel project, but I would like to say that there are many people in Ventura County that are not in favor of it, and would like to see a lot more responsible use of these kinds of funds and a lot more local water supplies developed. I don't believe that we need this project in order to repair the infrastructure that exists now. You could do that and improve the existing water quality. Without this project, it would cost a lot less to do that. I believe that there's much more that can be done in conservation. I have seen, spending some time in LA, I did some house and dog sitting for some friends in Ladera Heights, and I could not believe the amount of water that was running down the street from various lawns on several blocks. I called in a couple things and reported them. There were plants growing in the actual gutters because the water was so consistently running off. And there's much that could be done to encourage people. I know MWD has a process to help people to conserve and do more drought-friendly yards, but there's so much more that could be done that you wouldn't need to incur the cost and develop this huge project if you did proper conservation. There's a lot of dewatering that's going on, both in, I've heard in West Hollywood, a lot of houses being built with basements, large structures with basements, and then all the dewatering that has to be done. This water is just pumped out and put into the storm drains. This is a huge waste of water. Also on the west side, Playa Vista has been doing this for a number of years as well. Another huge waste of water that could be captured and used. Finally, I'd like to say you can do a lot more with planting trees and other vegetation, doing bioswales, creating more parks, as was said earlier. That helps to actually promote condensation and more precipitation. So there's much that could be done in a much more environmentally friendly and economically responsible way. Thank you.